All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Factorio. So I'm going to click resume. And so last time we were pretty close to done setting up our transport platform. So we have most of the stuff up here. We just need a little bit more. We just need a little bit more supplies, and then we need to actually construct this into something that's actually functional. So obviously we have the machines, but they're not connected to anything, right? So we're going to need to fix that. And then once that is done, we will just be hopping on to it and seeing how that works, I guess. Alright, so first off, we need to make fuel. How does that work? We need water and carbon to make thruster fuel. We need water and iron to make thruster oxidizer. Alright, so first off, we need a water pipe going to this entire row. Something like that. Next, we need to connect it in, obviously. And we're going to need to fill out this whole area with foundations. There we go. So that should get all of that built in. Then we need the inserters for the solid ingredients, which are just going to be going everywhere along here. Like that. Okay, then we are going to need to move these guys back and put a belt along. Alright, I don't know why that decided to go underground. Okay, so our first belt here is going to be doing the carbon. So they need to not connect across to each other. So then we do something like that. And then that one does the iron ore. Alright, so next up, we need to make the carbon, which needs our... Where are these things? Crushers. And so they need to just output onto this belt. Just like that. And so you make carbon and you make carbon. And then we need to get some chemical plants here to make the water, and we're going to need just shy of 160 water. Actually, where's the recipe for melting stuff? I'm pretty sure it's in chemical plants. So let's have that in here somewhere. Yes, so that is ice melting. And that gives us 20 water each. So we need 5, 10, 15, 20. So yeah, we need 2 of these. Alright. And then those... This is actually set up great that I can just do that. So that is the water done, and then we need to put a belt in for those. So let's get some more space out here. So those get a belt feeding them the ice, which is then going to be placed on that belt. And how much ice do we need? We need 2 ice. So let's set that up. And this, just one of these is apparently enough. So then that goes onto those. And then finally, we need our iron ore. So let's get some more of these guys. Probably like 2 of these. Metallic asteroid crushing, metallic asteroid crushing. And that gives us 20 iron. Oh, we do not need that much. Okay. So we can just have the 1. And so this gives us 10 iron ore, and we need 4 of it for this. Okay, so that is that. And then the next step back is to get our asteroids into here, which is actually going to be a bit of a chore. Oh, we need to cover in some of those gaps in there as well in order for this to work. So what we need is we need to either just split the asteroid belts across all of these guys, or just... Yeah, so let's actually have each of these have their own independent belts, and then things can split ahead of them. So you can do something like that. And then we are going to need more of this. And you are just going to be real quick. And then this one also only needs a little bit of belt. Okay. But wait, because these output extra stuff. So actually we need that to loop around like this, maybe? And then have outputs, which... So if we have the fresh asteroid stuff coming in on the left side, I don't know. I don't actually know how to do that. We need to make sure that the outputs get sent out somewhere that doesn't cause a jam. Now, it would be most convenient if it just cycled back into itself. But they will take priority for the belts. So anything that we insert onto here doesn't take priority. Alright, how do we do that? So I guess we do just have to have that go up like this, and just make sure that it does it on the right side. So then we have that belt which goes out, and we can actually just priority... We can do something with that later, probably. And same thing with this one. And then same thing with this one. So they all have those outputs. Okay, so now we just need some splitters to divide between the different types. So we start with a splitter that can go down to there, and our right output is the carbonic asteroid chunks. And then your left output is anything else. Then you go up there and you split again. So now your right output is the oxide asteroid chunks, and your left output is anything else, which in this case can only be those. Alright, so now we just need to make sure that these... Let's see here. We need to then merge all these up. So we have this as sort of like the main line of incoming asteroids, right? So we need you to go over this way, and then I think we just have to have them merge up like this with an input priority. So what we need is we need all of our asteroid belts at this point to be going below. So that needs to be an underground belt. So then this is input priority right. Alright, so that should be fine. And then, wait, I just realized something else that we need. So we need this to be also output priority, right? Filter metallic chunks. And then that one will be just whatever extra stuff, which we're then going to be throwing off into space, I guess, in case we have more asteroid chunks than we know what to do with. Although in that case, if we have more asteroid chunks than we know what to do with, we won't really need this whole recycling thing. Yeah, let's actually just assume that we're just going to be grabbing a whole bunch of asteroid chunks, and we are just not going to recycle stuff. We're just going to send it off into space. So this does actually have to go a little bit over here. And why are you like this? You need to go like that. And then a little bit more. And then off into space with you. Yep, we are working on space stuff. We're trying to make a spaceship that can go to what's it called? That can go to other planets and like make its own fuel and stuff. So all of that is going to need to be foundation. All of that is going to need to be foundation. All right, we're gonna need a lot more foundation delivered up here in order for this to work. But that'll probably be fine eventually. Alright, so then you need to go off over there to empty space and get output, and then you get output there to empty space. Alright. So then this bit up there we don't need anymore because I've changed the way we did that. So now this should theoretically work once we get asteroid collectors attached up to it. And Oh boy, that's not good. What's going on? Is this corner again? It's lost power. Okay, that... We need to... If we just put a substation, like, there, that'll keep all those guys powered up, and it will be a lot less vulnerable to the power pole itself getting sniped. So we can just do that. Now, let's see here. Back to what we were doing. Now we just need to get the asteroid collectors attached up. Yeah, I can definitely see how ships would get quite large if you're trying to do more than just the bare minimum. Alright, so this is going. Surprised. Okay, we are still launching all sorts of stuff up there, I guess. So that's very much a work in progress. Anyways, asteroid collector time. We need... Actually, yeah, we need these ones sort of on the sides to go away. And we need... Oh, we're going to need so much foundation for this. This is so much space building blocks that we're going to need to bring up here. Alright, so if we just do something like this, and then we can put in our asteroid collectors and just sort of try to cover the front of the ship. And you need to go a little bit further forwards than even that, because we need to have your belt going places. Alright, I don't know if that's going to be enough. And it probably isn't. But for now, it's a start. So that all combines up and then goes into that. Then we have these guys combining up and then merging into there. Alright, I don't know why I have this on input priority. You can just be neutral. Okay, so now all these asteroid collectors get connected up like so. We apparently need laser turrets. That is one thing which I did Google, is that apparently the asteroids will try to destroy the ship if you don't have laser turret coverage. So let's just have a couple of those. It shouldn't be that bad. It shouldn't be that terrible. If we just do something like this, then we have the front side of the ship covered. Okay, I can pretty easily fit a guy down here, I think, just to get some of that space covered, and that shouldn't require many more belts than I already have, so you can just go across there and then meet up to that. Alright, let's say something like that. So then we have our two types of fuel, which are going to then just be going down here to this thruster, which I've conveniently put cargo bays in the way. But that's fine. So you just connect up like that. You connect up like that. And then we're going to need to bring these across, and then Do underground pipes make it far enough? They do, and there's a decent amount of space left over. So that should be fine. So you go across to there, and then down around like that, and then something like that. And then this one, okay, this actually needs to go in further back. So you need to go down like that, so that you can go across like that, and then down into there. And then we're going to need to fill in all of that space so that we don't have donuts. And I don't know, maybe this will work. We're going to have to wait for it to actually craft and send it off. So we have all these rockets going, getting built. Now it looks like the actual supplies themselves to craft the rockets aren't necessarily a problem. So let's take the productivity modules out and speed module these so that we can get launches happening at a reasonable rate. So let's do that. What are you... Why are you sending stuff down? Oh, is it because... Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, we lost... Alright, now this section is under pretty significant attack for the first time in a while. That's not good. So first of all, we need to expand laser turrets along that wall. And we need to get a substation back here so that the power is more secure. And then we are going to want to double wall that corner. I think I just heard a rocket launch. So hopefully that is going well. Yeah, we need so much stuff for all this to happen. We need 325 space platform foundations. And unfulfilled requests is 425. Because we also want to have 100 spare on hand in case we need to do, I don't know, like emergency repairs or something. Oh, there's also another thing which I needed to add on to this list. So we want this to also have a... Okay, you can't launch a rocket silo into a rocket silo. Good to know. That would certainly be handy, because presumably we're going to need it or something like it in order to launch a rocket and get back to here. Maybe? I don't know. I have not done that much research into this, so it's probably horribly not well prepared. Where's our blue circuit production? How are you doing? Alright, you are definitely struggling. Not enough green circuits. And that's just sort of the same problem that it always is. How is green circuits up here going? Completely dead. At the moment, there is no copper. Why is there no copper? Oh, because the entire system is stuck. Great. That's great. Just what I wanted. So I think it's because you had that. So we need to send you off so that then this train can get out of that intersection, and then everything can move through. And that should get copper supplies going again. And yeah, that did just completely stop the factory. You can see our science research went down to 0 just within the last minute. And now we have copper going through again. And iron going through as well. So that should be problem solved. Although I don't know if the iron was actually struggling because of this, or if there's just some other unrelated problem. Okay, so the oil looks good. The copper is going through again. We'll actually get to see how long it takes for that to resolve and result in more science throughput. Hopefully it won't be too long. So this is copper going through and turning into wire. Alright, so we caught the problem was solved like a minute after science dropped to 0. So then the question is, how much longer will it take before science starts up again? And what science specifically are we even short on? It's productivity modules, as usual. Our productivity module production is not the greatest in the world, that's for sure. But we now have green circuits going into our red circuit production. Apparently this last machine is not properly powered, so let's get that set up. So now we have red circuits going to make productivity modules, and some of those will go and make science. Yeah, it's going to take quite a while, actually. So now we have these guys coming down here. And that should get purple science production started up again. And there we go. So that is purple science going, and there are more productivity modules coming as well. So that should be all set up. And then we output some science packs, which go forwards and into the labs. And it took like, what? So now it's like 4 minutes after science dropped to 0. So like 3 minutes-ish. We should see that. Yeah, so it takes like 3 minutes to go from adding copper into the system to getting science. So that's fine. Alright, so now these guys are, well, they're going to be short on these because of the copper shortage which just happened. So we'll have to see if that actually lasts, or if this production will catch back up. It might not, now that it's all speed moduled. So up here, we have gotten a good solid chunk of the foundations in. We're now only 175 construction materials short. And all the rest of these stuff are currently not being requested, but will be soon. Alright, so just have to wait. We are mainly waiting on the low density structures, and we have another rocket finished. Alright, so I think somewhere in the middle is probably better. If we go like 2 speed, 2 productivity, Actually, what we can do is just beacon them. Can I get both of them in the same beacon? Not quite. Alright, so you get speed modules, you get speed modules. And now we can make these guys full productivity modules so that they are maximally efficient while also going fast. So that is that. And we are launching more ships. That one's taking belts up for some reason. Because you always need more belts. Really what we need are the physical structures things. And I still don't know why this is sending like solid fuel and fast inserters and stuff in here. Oh, I think I actually know. Is it... So we go up to here. Yeah, so these have limits on how high the number can be. So they must have gotten too many delivered. So then they sent some back. Alright, so first off, we need to make sure that you only put white science on that belt. And secondly, we need you to output anything blacklisting white science. So anything else is going to go into an active provider chest. So then that somehow we don't have drone connection out here. So now all that stuff can be grabbed, taken somewhere else, including all of that. I don't know how that much solid fuel got up there. Oh, rocket capacity 1,000. That would explain it. They took up way too much rocket fuel in one go for whatever reason. Alright, so now that is all going down this way towards our storage chests. And because that's so much rocket fuel, I recently unlocked the tank apparently. Let's craft up a bunch of storage chests and make sure that we have enough storage. So there we go. Those are in. And we are sending up some other weird junk, it seems. Alright, this guy is going slowly. Can I just make you a bulk inserter so that this goes faster? This is going to take forever otherwise. Alright, we're launching up some splitters. I guess we did build some, although this... We're going to send, like, most of the splitters straight back down, aren't we? In order to meet the specific... Yeah, okay, that's... So this is pretty... So I think what we need to do is we need to just set all of these to have between like 1 and 2 stacks, so they're not so incredibly precise about it. So now this should mean that if we are like, if we go up to a higher number, then we'll have some more leeway on how much we can get before they start getting sent back. Now this is going to result in some amount of wasted inventory space from having more stacks of this than we strictly need, but that's going to be better than sending up entire rockets to refill the number of splitters by like 1 every single time. So we just go through all this and get all these guys done. And rail signals and chain signals. Substations. Combinators. More combinators. More combinators. Rocket fuel. And space platforms. And requester chests. Alright, almost there. Almost there. Just a couple more rows to go of this. So there we go. Get all these guys built up. Those, more those. More belts. More splitters, and more underground belts. Alright, that should do it. And hopefully... Okay, so another delivery of space platform foundations showed up. Now we're only 75 foundations short. And I think we have most of the rest of this stuff up here already. Although it might still need another delivery or two to actually properly get placed. So this guy should be able to collect some asteroids now. There we go, there's one. And that underground belt was going backwards. And of course they're just gonna all get stuck on the stuff that hasn't been built yet, but that's fine. Alright. So, how much do we have left? We still need to send up a couple more belts and productivity modules, but mostly it is just the lasers and the foundations. What are these things even called? Yeah, space platform foundations. That is what they're called. So you are finishing off the belts, I guess. And you are finishing off the underground belts. So yeah, there's all sorts of wasted rockets probably because of that, but it's fine. Alright, so these machines are producing at full capacity, and they need better productivity modules, and I think because they are not short on any of the inputs, I think we're gonna beacon them. So we just take out the output for every other one of these. So you go away, and you go away, and you go away. And then we can replace those guys with beacons, which are right here. And there, there, and there. And then those beacons get speed modules. And then our low density structure production should be much, much quicker. Alright, so we're just having to have the drones carry that stuff away, and then put the beacons in, and then the speed modules are sourced right over here, so they should be pretty quick. So you're 0.07 per second, now you're 0.16 per second. And that's the one on the edge, which is going to be the slowest. So these ones are 0.2 per second, and we just need to get that beacon in. Alright, we have achieved a record for solar panel power production. And I guess the thing that was limiting it was the using only solar panels thing. And also we need to, speaking of, we need to place more. That's getting a bit scary. So we go to you, and we still can't do much about cliffs aside from just ignore them and hope that it's okay. Is that overlapping slightly? I think that might be... Yeah, I think that was overlapping a little bit. Let's look properly here. Yeah, so we're just going to get a tiny bit in the corner clipped by that cliff, which is fine. And then that is going to take a big chunk out of the middle. That's no good. And then up there, we have stuff in the way. So how about down here? We can fit this one in just fine. And then there's going to be cliff problems for those. But this one should be basically okay. And just get a couple more of those guys in. And yeah, we have enough space over on this side for a good solid row. And we're going to need to overwrite some of that stuff, which was just some defenses, which is fine. Alright, so that is a whole lot of stuff added. Drones are going to be busy with that one. And also, apparently the biters like to walk through here. So they have a nest just like over there or something, I guess. So let's set up for that to happen. So let's get a substation over here. And then you get to have a bunch of laser turrets around you. And then a bunch of walls. Alright, we apparently need way more construction bots. Did I turn off production of construction bots? Oh, I need to do that. So I didn't have construction of the bots turned off, but I did have adding them to the logistics system turned off for some reason. I can't remember why I did that. Let's get those placed in so we can have a good solid supply of new construction bots, which apparently we badly need. And with all of this wood that we're taking out, we might need even more storage chests. Let's get those in. Alright, while we're over here, these could be faster. And item ingredient shortage of green circuits. I assume we can't productivity module you. No, we cannot. Okay, these ones are taking red circuits, and they're doing fine, except for the small amount of random junk on the belt. I don't know how that got there. But now we're going to be low on red circuits for those as well. And sure enough, we are... Okay, actually down here. So I'm going to have to run down there manually to deal with it. Because it's sort of in the middle of stuff. I can't just plop a laser turret down super easily. How do I get through here? I've entered my pipe maze again. Alright, down we go. Let's go around the pond over this way. And that's going to mean going all the way around that stack of generators. Alright, then we have this random pipe here, which I need to go around. And almost there. Almost there. Now we are running through this portion of things. Alright, it looks like the biters are in here. And I can't quite get close enough. Alright, that's one down. And, oh, I don't have any laser turret support. That's not good. Alright, where around here is connected up to power? Only this stuff? Alright. There we go. Biter dealt with. And another one down. Alright. Once more of this gets built, we're going to have more steady access to power down here. It'll be a lot easier to defend against. But we are just going to have to wipe out that biter nest because it is simply way too close. I guess technically these solar panels do provide power. Just like independently. So, let's see how much of this we can... How much is this power grid? 60 kilowatts. That's not that much. Okay. Oh boy, that's not opportune. Run. We're probably gonna die here. Unless I can find somewhere with... Okay, nope, I got stuck on a tree. I got stuck on a tree and died. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I probably should have spammed walls behind me or something. I could have avoided that. Alright, we need to get back down there and stop that biter swarm. And hopefully it will have moved a little bit and I can just re-grab my old stuff and be fine. And also there is a partially built laser defense box up over there. So I was actually very close to making it. Just needed to get a little bit further northwest. Alright, it seems like the biters have moved on from the corpse. Or they tried to attack the laser turret box and failed. Alright, so let's pick all that stuff up. Okay, inventory is full. I need to grab my power armor. I believe it's not the modular armor, is it? Yeah, no, it's definitely the power armor. Alright, so now we grab all that stuff. And we are good. Alright, so we are back to having all of our stuff. Now we just need to run down here and... Okay, surely this is connected up. Yeah, this is connected up to the main grid now. Alright. Those laser turrets and those laser turrets should have us covered. Yeah, barely, but it works. It works, it works. We need more of you. I almost just got basically one shot there. That was a lot. Alright, so here's the thing, is that now we need to worry about like running out of power in the nighttime. get those guys in. And we need to move even further forwards, get even more laser turrets going. We need to wipe this stuff out ASAP. There we go. So that's that. And now we can just pick all this stuff back up. And successful power expansion, I would say. Alright, so now we can head back up and just check. How is power going? It's going better than it was. We'll have to see if we have enough to last. The Roboport demand has dropped off because it's all built now. So we should be fine to make it through this night, probably. So we did hit 0 last night, which is not great. But hopefully that expansion will deal with the problem. And we can just run back over. So research is still running properly. The construction bots have all gone to bed. Oh, I see a whole bunch of biters attacking this corner over here, which is very, very poorly defended. Yeah, that's not great. So let's get you just expanded out a little bit, like that, and make sure that you have a north wall as well. And then we get just a couple more laser turrets in various locations. Okay, that one needs power. Let's put a, whatchamacallit, this special useful ones, a substation, which we can just fit back there and then have basically this whole area set up. Okay, and then we will just proactively double up that wall. And that should be much more secure. So now we can run back to the factory and see what is going on with our space transport platform. Transport platform. You have everything you need, apparently, except for 25 of the foundations, just for spare, laser turrets, and productivity modules. So laser turrets go up in batches of 25. We're not, like, short on things, are we? We might be short on laser turrets, actually. What's the laser turret production situation? That's down here, right? Item ingredient shortage. Batteries, check. Steel, check. Okay. No, this one is short on green circuits, but we do have enough laser turret production. Renegade, hello. Alright, so green circuits are currently not going great. Neither are blue circuits, obviously. So are green circuits up here going okay? Yes. They look fine. Could be slightly better with this top row, but it's basically just okay. So these guys are at item ingredient shortage sometimes, but not all the time. So that's looking fine. Now, are we short of blue circuits back up here? Yes, so blue circuits are now the problem for launching rockets. That's unsurprising. We always knew blue circuits were going to be an issue. And those are red circuits, green circuits, and sulfuric acid. And sulfuric acid is iron plates, sulfur, and water. Yeah, we really need to just work on expanding things up to much more scalable designs, which is going to be a whole process. So it looks like we have enough iron. So up here, this guy has... Oh, I forgot to set up... Alright, I forgot to set up the filters on these. So you need to be whitelist carbon there and there. And you need to be whitelist carbonic asteroid chunks. There. And there. Okay. So we did get some production here. Have our iron going. You need to be whitelist iron. You... What's that we're losing? Just some laser turrets and stuff. You need to be whitelisted metallic asteroid chunks. And then the ice back here. You need to be whitelist ice. And you need to be whitelist oxide asteroid chunk. Yep. This is indeed my first ship. So technically I have another space platform making space science, but not anything that is actually meant to go anywhere. Oh, and this is no longer the edge of the ship. So I guess that works technically. Yeah, I guess that's fine. That's fine, I guess. They can just loop around like that. It's not ideal. We should find somewhere that we can just jettison that. Now, if I recall, we can't put it there because that's in front of the asteroid collector. So instead, we need to send it somewhere where it's not going to be in the way, like down across there. And those are just going to get immediately picked back up again, aren't they? Yeah, probably. Probably just going to... Okay, it doesn't look like they are, actually. I guess maybe there's some magical difference, or they just despawn. I think they just despawn. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now this got connected up mistakenly. Of course it did. Alright, so you need to get rid of all that. So now we're making fuel and oxidizer, and this consumes 120 of each per second if it's on. This is theoretically should be enough production to keep that running around the clock. So then if I wanted more than just the one thruster, which I probably do want, then I would want to have like fuel tanks. Do you want a ship saving tip, or you don't want to learn through failure? If it's gonna cause the ship to be destroyed, I think I'd rather no. So yeah, please tell me. Alright. Let's see here. What do I need? I might need more solar panels actually. Do I have to do the math on this? That's like a lot of power output. So each one of these is slightly less than one of these machines, right? So that's 4, 8. The lasers are not going to keep up with your power needs, and the asteroids will shred you. Turrets with locally made ammo is the way to go. I see. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. I mean, theoretically, I could just, like, put more solar panels on, and... But, yeah, I mean, locally made ammo shouldn't be that hard, right? If it's just firearm magazines, that should be pretty easy. Alright, so let's do that then. That's a good tip. So we have our iron ore, which this is outputting 10, that only needs 4, so we've got like 6 iron ore to spare per second. That's probably good enough. That's a decent chunk of electric furnaces. Alright, so let's just add in a couple of you guys. And there we go. So then that belt goes along there, and we need to fill in the little holes. Okay, so that then is going to give us like 2.5-ish iron plates, which then we just pop into an assembler. And how much does this need? Alright, so this could theoretically just take all the iron plates from that entire thing. So let's gather them all up. Put them into a single belt. And then we just get this guy in. And you are making firearm magazines. And then outputting onto a belt. Which... Alright, we finished the last research we had queued. What else should I queue up? Let's just get a lot of these that, like, don't require purple science, because we have like 1 billion of all the other sciences just like in boxes. So let's just clear them out. Oh, except for yellow science, which I haven't gotten around to making. Alright, so now we have you, and we need to get gun turrets up here then. Alright, let's go. Actually, no, we can just build them and then just have it send up however many it needs. That'll be easier. So, gun turrets, and we're going to need some room for the belts that are going to be going around. Take the laser turrets out, and Then these we need, I guess just about like that will do, and then those get spaced. Want to know a tiny fact about ship speed? I'm assuming that more thrusters equals more speed. I don't know how fast, like, to expect this to be or anything. It's something that I'm gonna have to find out. Alright, so then let's get a couple of gun turrets over there. And that belt can then go along there, and then... Oh, that's apparently too close. So you need to go down and over to there, and then you need to just get shifted over slightly. Alright, is this fine? Yeah, sure. That's probably fine. Speed is affected way more by ship width than actual mass. Interesting. That's good to know. So theoretically, like, narrower ships are better, I guess. And this ship is relatively flat-ish. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so we need to send up some extra junk. Do I even have gun turrets automated anymore? Is that like a thing that I have? Let's see, if I were a thing producing gun turrets, where would I be? Ah, in here? Is this functioning? Yeah, that looks like it's functioning. Alright, so we do have gun turrets automated. That's good to know. Saw someone build a ship that was like 4 tiles wide but 3,000 tiles tall. That's crazy. That seems a bit excessive. Yes, all of the drag in space, clearly. The atmospheric resistance from the space atmosphere. Or something. Alright. Launching more rockets. The gun turrets still haven't been sent up, but everything else has. And then I think we're basically good after that. Okay, our supply of iron is not very good. This is not going anywhere. Ice. How are you output full? Oh, I see. I never connected this up to jettison the extra stuff off the side. That's how you're output full. There we go. There are a lot of asteroids. That's definitely true. This whole thing must be taking place like inside an asteroid belt or something. Oh, I never connected this belt up to over there. So let's do that. Apparently we need more foundations for that. And then I guess we'll see how these gun turrets perform. Alright, so our iron supply has caught up basically entirely. The ice supply is now back down to basically 0 because we just haven't gotten an asteroid since we fixed that problem. So we have more of this stuff than we know what to do with, and I should probably have figured out how to set up a way of recycling these so that they're not just completely wasted, but I guess this is better for just making sure that we have a nice consistent supply. So if we completely run out, then we'll know. Okay, what is... Why is that one backwards too? How did I end up like every underground belt on this entire ship is backwards somehow? How did that happen? Alright. Still not great on blue circuit production. Looks like we're short on green circuits, as always. And the green circuits themselves look like they're more or less going fine. It's just that our main production of green circuits is like up here somewhere and not connected in. And even this, actually this is suspiciously small. Why is there an iron plate problem? We haven't had iron plate problems up here before. That's a new one, actually. It might theoretically be because we were filling up this, which takes a lot of steel. Alright, iron plate problem. We have enough iron ore. We have enough iron ore. We could speed it. We could speed that up by upgrading this belt. This is one of the most annoying belts ever, though. Alright, so let's do that. So you can all be upgraded. And then we need to get so that it doesn't upgrade the same thing multiple times and try to upgrade it to something that I don't have yet. Alright, so this belt goes along this way. And just upgrading it to there, because that's a splitter, should help and do most of the job. So I guess we'll see how that works. Though it might not, because it looks like we also have this iron stuff going forwards and doing weird stuff. Alright, so that is now all upgraded, and it's hard to tell if it's actually going at the 45 or not. So it's definitely slowing down, obviously, once it gets past here. And we should see if we can fix that. So all that stuff gets upgraded. Then we turn up here. And behind me is moving on its own. Weird. Yeah, I guess I have a fan on in the room, so that's not completely surprising. It's magic? Alright, fair enough. It could be magic. That's definitely possible. Alright, so now we can get this. Okay, now that I get around to doing all that, the iron ore has caught up on the belt anyways. So now this is just going, and if I want to get any more out of this, I need to do some modules or something. But the iron plate supply looks better. It's still not quite enough, though. We did eventually make all those productivity modules that we needed. So we are up to a little bit of spare of that. So modulating these things more is an option. Is this one is not connected up at all. Let's get that in. I don't know how I missed that. Alright, then all of this is just going. Yeah, we need a lot more productivity modules just like everywhere along this line, probably. These ones can be neutral, I guess, because the alternative would be I don't want to be wasting iron ore necessarily. I should probably just get these productivity moduled and beaconed for the speed. Where are the beacons at? Well, this is This is part of the factory that I built before I really had lots of beacons and modules going around. So, yeah, not everything is evenly advanced, basically. I guess I should probably run over and do that. It's been long enough, and I have enough productivity modules lying around, right? I've got 50 in the inventory, 29 in logistics storage. It's not great, to be fair. Alright, so we are going to take out those, and then in that spot we are going to put some beacons. And okay, now this is the awkward part. We need to put power poles there in this, so that when we copy paste it, those, wait, this doesn't need to take, so when we copy paste it, those power poles will overwrite these inserters, which would otherwise just dump the inventory of the beacons onto the belts, which is certainly not what we want. Alright, so now that we have the beacon in, we can also productivity module all those guys. And then if we just grab this and make sure we grab enough of it to get everything right. So we grab you, and now if we just copy paste this a couple of times, then we will pretty quickly just run out of productivity modules, and that's fine. I could copy paste a larger section of this to go faster, but I'm almost done as it is. So we get a couple more of these, and that's going to be good enough. Alright, so that should be faster iron plate production while simultaneously being more efficient. These ones on the end are 0.62 per machine, and these ones are 1.19 per machine. Alright, let's get you some modules. There we go. Then we have this one down here, which I guess, is this set up the same way? I think this is the same way, but pasted facing a different direction. So if I rotate you like this, then it should work. And that all just goes in, and that seems to have worked. Alright, we are apparently delivering beacons from somewhere else instead of just grabbing the ones that are 5 inches away from me in my inventory. Although actually I might have used all the ones in my inventory. That's probably what happened. Oh, I unlocked all sorts of weird stuff. I'm just gonna hover over all these things to get the exclamation points to go away. Not on logistics network. How am I not on logistics network? Roboport. Just Roboport, go in there. I've done a much worse job at having a coherent logistics network this save than I have. Oh wait, no, that's bad. Okay, you go away. We have iron ore on the iron plates belt. That's fine. Set a filter there. Alright, so that is something at least. Now we have to run up here and find all the places that this ends and get that off. And this is why you need to be careful when building stuff, especially when pasting things, because that sort of thing can happen pretty easily. Oh, wait. That iron ore is going to get into these furnaces and actually probably just... Well, it's going to put iron plates on the steel belt. So let's cut the steel belt as well and chase that down. Fortunately, not much got through. I think... Okay. We need to... This is gonna split like a billion ways and be awful. Okay. That was just about the worst possible place that contamination could have happened. I think... Okay, we have some up here. And over here. I think we're good on this front now. No, there goes an iron plate over this way. Alright. We just have to keep running along and grabbing all this. Honestly, it would probably be easier to just wait until it all got to the ends of the belts and then fix it then. Alright, so that is... So that direction is fine. Did any get down this way? Okay, that's not even related. That's just a different thing that happened, apparently. How did you get there? Who knows? Alright, I think we're fine. I think that's most everything going that way. Now we're going to have to check because the steel belt also branches down this way. And is going to get there. Yeah, it's a shame I am short on steel, because if I had a steel surplus, it wouldn't have gotten nearly so far down the belt and I would have just been able to stop it relatively simply. But because I don't have enough steel production, it just sort of got divided to everywhere that steel goes. Alright. So there's almost certainly some places that I missed, but hopefully the numbers are small enough that it can just sort of figure itself out. Like, there's one up there, there's one in there. Those weren't really causing much harm, though. Alright. So now we can go past all of this and up here. Alright, I think we're fine, except for the stuff that's back in this area that I didn't catch. And I'm surprised that this is still running, actually. Yeah, we didn't have enough of a backup of iron here to cause too much of a problem. So we can just grab all of that, and now we have that iron belt going again. And now we run up here, and we just see how we can grab all of this iron out. Let's just grab up the entire belt. That'll be much easier. Alright. Did I miss anything? Yes, there's one in there. Okay, I think we're good. I think we are all fine now. And that is filtered, so it shouldn't be causing any more problems. I should just, like, have a habit of putting filters on all of my splitters, so this sort of thing is much less likely to happen. I think we're clear. Now what? Alright, that's just some drones that were in the wrong place. Alright, now we can reconnect that across, and it should be fine. Okay, so this, I believe, is just another copy-paste of that same thing. So I should be able to make this beacons. So the center line goes down like this. Oh, no, wait, this is backwards, is it? Yes, so this... Wait, no, is this correct? No, so this is backwards. The inserters are facing the wrong way. But I can actually probably still just use this and just... No, that could cause problems. Let's just redo it. So you to get removed and replaced with power lines. Those go away. Get replaced with beacons, which get speed moduled. And then these guys all get productivity moduled. And now if I can copy paste this without grabbing some random junk, then we should be fine. Alright, I think that's everything copy pasted that I want to have copy pasted. Alright, let's see, did that go in properly? Yes, that looks right. Alright, and we just go on up. And get you, and you. And that should be enough of that. Now we're short on productivity modules again, unsurprisingly. But at least get something. And we're probably going to have to upgrade this belt to a blue belt. Yeah, let's do that. And because physically here, we can just do it manually, which will be easier than messing around with the whole click and drag thing. So this, okay, I think I did miss one there. So this just goes all the way down to there and to there. Alright, so then neither of these belts look saturated, so they should be fine. Okay, and then that output only goes up to there, and the steel output just doesn't go to anything in particular, so there shouldn't be any problems with that. So it looks like, fortunately, the lower down ones, which are more likely to actually get an iron supply, are the ones which ended up getting productivity moduled more. So we apparently haven't gotten speed modules up to the top couple yet. Alright. That should be happening, though. So the steel goes along. The iron... some of the iron is more or less making it through here, and these are still on Module Mark 1s, but I don't have any Module Mark 2s to fix that just yet, so it is what it is. And then, let's see here. How is this guy going? You... Okay. We have, apparently just recently, actually, ammo going... Wait, no, I got the ammo connected up to the wrong belt. Right. Of course I did. Alright, so... This gun turret... Now, fortunately, I had filters, and... Fortunately, we don't have to deal with that here because the inserters just removed everything. But what we need to do is we need to get this belt up. You don't take from that. You go around this way. And then go up there. So that goes along to that. Still somehow gun turrets haven't been launched. I don't know how that's even possible. It's been so long. Alright, so now you are connected up, and then the rest of these are all attached. So we just need this to get up to there without... We're going to have to shift those waste outputs over a little bit. It really throws me off that on the space platform, click and dragging doesn't automatically place those. Can express underground belts? Does that work? Alright, apparently it doesn't work. That is perhaps unsurprising. It would be super wacky if it did. Alright, so those belts need to go out this way. And this whole area needs to get filled in. Okay, now these can go underground since there's actually foundation. And then these just output there and there. That needs a foundation apparently. Alright, so that's in, and then we are still apparently a couple foundations short. 3 foundations short of being able to do anything useful. What are my... Okay, it's still just a blue circuit problem, as always. So this is the green circuits making red circuits. And we are still short on red circuits, although not in the blue circuit side of things. These guys have enough red circuits. The actual red circuit shortages are somewhere else, I guess. Actually, no, it looks like we might be doing well on red circuits, actually. Yeah, it's definitely backing up through here. And it's going to take ages to back up all the way to the production machines. But it might eventually happen. At least that's what it looks like. Science is still going. That's still going. We're still very, very slowly chipping away at making our productivity modules. And a couple of speed modules as well, although those are obviously much better since we don't also need them for science. Actually, we have 39 of those. So we have enough Module 1s, and it's mostly just Module 2s that we're waiting on at this point. Yeah, so Module 2s need blue circuits, because of course they do. Which we are very, very slow to produce, and we need a whole lot of. So that is going to have to happen. Do we have any... Alright, so I guess what we can do is we can upgrade this green circuit production and then slap some of them off into a dimensional depot and then send that dimensional depot down. Oh, actually we already have this box that takes spare red and green circuits. So if we just increase the green circuit production a lot with speed modules, then we should be able to get there. Alright, my inventory is full. Why is my inventory full? I have... Oh, it's all those stupid variants of when I was messing around with quality stuff. So you go away. Mark 3s go away. Okay, what's going on there? That corner is getting hit as always. Can I just put a couple extra laser turrets in there? Because that's really all we can do at this point. And it is within drone coverage, right? Yeah, it is. Alright, so this is going to be a spot where we put a beacon. That's going to be a spot where we put a beacon. Now they go in there and there. And there and there. And do we even... We only have 4 productivity modules. We're still 23 short in other places. I think we still just leave these at module mark 1s. Alright, so this is actually... Oh, this is actually item ingredient shortage. So it can't... Because this is a long-handled inserter, it can't pick up enough plates. Okay, if we... We're gonna have to mess with the power then. So we get more view, and we put the power poles over here. Now you should be able to work around the clock. And we should probably be hitting output full soon, or at least close to it. Very, very close to a full belt now. Yeah, we're going to hit output full now, which is pretty great. Unless... No, we just used up all of our iron plates. We just used up all of our iron plates. Of course we did. So, anything we can do down here... These guys are already all beaconed up. So that just... That is what it is. If we wanted to do more, we would need to physically replace the modules in the furnaces with speed modules. And at that point, that's just very wasteful of our iron supply, which is currently... I think we're probably just between trains loading up, where's the iron supply? Yeah, okay, here we go. So we're not out of iron, it's just that occasionally that happens. But if we make the demand much higher, then that might eventually become an actual problem, which isn't great. Alright, let's see. That's going fine. The copper plates is going fine. So at this point, these guys, I think we do just need to upgrade them however possible. I upgraded them in the worst order possible. I should have upgraded the first one to start with. Yeah, so now that's not much help. These guys are all mostly all max efficiency. We're still waiting on modules for them. And is the steel plate belt backlogging? Because if so, that would cause a reduced demand for iron, and then we might be okay. Okay, so that tiny bit up there is backlogging, but it's always been doing that. And over here, there's no sign of having more than enough steel plates. Yeah, so I think that's just all doomed. I think that's all doomed. So, how do we increase the amount of green circuits we produce if we don't have enough iron plates to do so? Because these belts aren't saturated. None of these belts are saturated, so that's not the limiting factor. We need to squeeze in more smelting, I guess, is the only thing that we could do. Let's see here. I don't have yellow science, so let's just do more of these guys, because they're relatively free. So we can just, like, save up on purple science stockpiles, which is about to max out, actually. And then we should be able to do some researches that need purple science relatively quickly after that. Alright, so we just launched another rocket that is probably delivering the platforms. Yes, so that should be the last of those that we need. For construction, at least. We're still going to need another load or two for other stuff. Alright. Our firearm magazines are starting to back up. So that should be fine. And this can take 5 iron plates per second. These guys can make like 2.4 iron plates per second, so it should be okay. And hopefully this is enough gun turrets, enough ammo production to power all the gun turrets. It's difficult to say because I don't know how often they're going to need to shoot. Alright, up here we have... This is still just going along as it has been. So you can be more efficient. And that'll help a little bit. But the steel plates... The problem is just not enough iron is getting past the steel plate section of the factory. Which, I mean, we need all the steel plates too. There's not much we can do about that. So we're kind of just stuck with it. Unless we can figure out any way of squeezing in an additional row in here, which we can't do. Actually, wait a minute. I have... Was this whole thing over here? Yes. Alright. I forgot that I had that. I should be able to actually fit that in. So if I just pop a train on here. I forgot that ages ago I had planned and barely started a giant iron plate smelting facility over there, and then I just sort of, well, I finished it, and then I was going to connect it up to stuff later, but I never connected it up to anything, so it's just been sitting there. But I can totally just use that. That's not what I wanted. Is that giant thing really the only train unloader that I have? Alright, we can just copy-paste this one. Alright, so copy you, flip you about, and it's not showing me where the train platform stops are. There it is. Alright, so we're gonna overwrite that drone thing and then just pop it in a little bit above. And then you are going to be... I guess we... Yeah, so we never set up the destination side of this. Iron plate destination. So we set that up. Give you a train limit of 1. And now we just have to go over to here. Find these guys, and you are going to be making an iron plate group. Iron plates, and you are going from iron plate source to iron plate destination, and for now you're just gonna... No, not that's the wrong one. Full cargo, iron, that's the wrong one. Iron plate destination to empty cargo, and then you get fueled up there, that's fine. Alright, yeah, so you can just go, and then you can also get added to that group. There you go. Those two are set as iron plate sources. So now we should have multiple... Okay, that was an unrelated train. Oh wait, no, this is not good actually. I need these trains to... I forgot that this was just like straight up right on the line. And that's going to cause some serious issues. So... let's get... this is going to be incredibly cursed. So you are going to be going around this way. And just down into that, I guess. That's fine. This is the opposite of how I normally do these. And normally the stations branch off to the sides and the main line goes through the center, but we're going to have to do some underground belts and then it'll all be fine. Alright. That might cause some problems, actually. I think that block needs to not be there so that trains don't get stuck in the intersection. Alright, what are we losing? Oh, we're losing pipes. What's happening? Oh, the biters have found that area. Okay. Okay, over we go. The old classic have a fairly simple goal, and then constantly everything gets interrupted, and eventually your interruptions get interrupted, and very little gets done. Wow, they are. The biters certainly are biting. Alright. So I had a wall there, but they went further south than usual. They went further south than usual. Alright, get a bunch of laser turrets, and they're gone. Dang, that's annoying. That's gonna destroy some productivity modules. Ah, well. Alright, so those laser turrets did their job. Now we just need to run over this way and get our laser wall blueprint. And you just need to sort of go down this way a lot. And then maybe let's just have a corner here for now. Like this. And that should be relatively secure. Now we just need drone coverage for this whole area. Like that. And then we need that drone port to actually get built. Thank you. Oh, this whole thing needs to get connected to power. Actually, it's probably connected to power over the other side. But we can get it connected on this side as well. Alright, just need one drone to go over here and place this. I guess I will be that drone. There we go. So that's all powered up. Speaking of power, accumulators are going fine. That's okay. Alright, so this drone port covers out to about there. So we need another one like in that area. And that one gets powered up. And then we have this relatively small dead zone up here, which we can get connected. And that should all be secure now. Okay, back to what I was doing. Back to what I was doing now that the biters are not destroying my oil processing. Alright, we can just run up here and get some stuff delivered to us, I guess. That's fine. I don't remember when I used all that stuff. Oh, it must be like replacements for the stuff that was destroyed. Alright, that attack is getting through some laser turrets pretty well, actually. That's concerning. Up here. Oh yeah, this whole area got cut off somehow. How did that happen? Because that power pole got dismantled somehow. Alright, that is quite bad. You need to get over there. Put that power pole in, or else the fighters are going to get through. Alright, that... Hopefully, oh, that was just in time. Jeez, okay. I got that place like 5 seconds before that attack came. This attack is dealt with now. Now that we have power over here. And... Alright, everything is all stable as far as the biters are concerned, I think. So, we need to just bring these belts of iron plates over, have them travel side by side, and over we go. Alright, so how do we get these in? I think we just... If we just put them in like that, and then this other one... Because I want to be able to upgrade both the steel production and the everything else production at the same time. So if we can get this belt in up there somehow. Actually, so I think the way we need to do that is we need to like loop around like there, then come over here and come down there. Alright, that should be a whole lot of iron plates going through. Now let's get all those guys upgraded. And so that should be enough to power all of these steel machines to go all out, and still have plenty of iron plates to come down here for the green circuits. Alright. So that is a big success. And now we can actually... Can't fit a machine there, but we can fit a beacon, which is sort of like, I don't know, like a quarter of a machine or something. So you're like, why are you plus... Oh, because the different productivity modules. That makes sense. I was going to say, why is this one plus 97, this one's plus 102? This one has fewer Mark II productivity modules in it, that's why. Alright, so now these guys are going, and now the copper wire seems like it might be a problem, because of course it is. That's 11.2, 15.1, 14.7. So that's like 30-ish, 40-ish, and that can carry 45. So yeah, not much copper wire getting past all that. But good news is now the green circuits look like they might be finally backlogging. Just a little bit. No, probably not. They're probably still all getting used somehow. Yeah, okay, so they're going up into this box, which... Okay, this is actually not ideal, because we're having mixed belts here. We need to fix this real quick. So the red circuits need to all be on the top side of this belt, which is the left side of this belt. Alright, so if we cut that off, and then you go in like that. Okay. That should do it. Yeah, that did it. And then... Oh, biters. right here. It looks like our sawtooth thing up there actually helped a lot. So that's nice. So now we want to make sure that this box doesn't do both of them. So you are going to be filtered to red circuits only. And then we have another one over here, which is going to be filtered to green circuits only. And that should just make sure that we don't completely fill up with green circuits and then cut off this supply of red circuits, which isn't being used much, I don't think, but could conceivably become an issue. Right, back over here, we still don't have a backlog of green circuits over here. I guess we're just using the full belt to its maximum capacity, and they're going into that. Now that's good, because I think over here somewhere I have a... Yes, right here. So this delivers additional green circuits right to the blue circuit production. So that should be good. Transport platform has gun turrets. Gun turrets have ammo. These ones, the inserters are faced backwards. So there we go. We have gun turrets. The gun turrets have ammo. And hopefully enough. I might want... Steel chests can't be built on this surface. Oh, right. Duh. Okay. I just wanted a quick buffer so that we could store up extra ammo rather than just having to rely on the belt. I want to have just like a box, but I guess we can't do that. We could put a cargo bay over there, I guess, but that seems silly. We're just going to trust that this is good enough. And actually, rather than just doing that, let's make you faster. So you can go faster if you need to. You shouldn't need to. And these ones are providing the iron plates for it. So if this goes at its full speed, these are all going to run out fast. So I guess... Since we're technically working on infinite space resources here, let's make all those guys speed moduled too. And that's 4 iron ore per second. This makes 10. And so this should be fine, assuming that this functions properly, and assuming we have enough metallic ore for this, which maybe we shouldn't... How do we prevent this from just... Because if one of these comes at the wrong time, it could be a problem, but this does theoretically get a bit of a buffer. Yeah, I don't know. Are we just not getting many asteroids? Let's see. So an asteroid goes in there, goes around. Now I've heard that you get more asteroids when you're moving, so this should be more stable then. And we're just gonna have to hope that that is the case. So I think we've done enough preparation here. I think... Let's see, is there anything else that this hasn't been given? It hasn't been given modules. That's fine. I don't really care that much about those. And so I think... Oh, these guys have actually backlogged their productivity modules for the purple science. So that's actually great. Weapon shooting speed is researching. We have apparently plenty of purple science going. Where is that happening? Oh, that's happening down here. Okay, we need to improve those defenses then. I wish I could see where specifically those biters came from. Like, are they coming from up here or over here? But I guess we will just fix it out like that. Place a couple of laser turrets in. And you guys can get a substation to have that whole area covered. And then, in case they were coming down from this direction, let's just put a nice little turret box just over there. And you get a substation, in this case, just because it's more durable. And then that gets connected across. And then this turret box gets some walls. And that should be basically untouchable. And then theoretically they could come in this tiny little gap, and then that's what that guy is for. So we should be fine. We should be fine, assuming that this is producing enough iron plates. Which it seems like we have a completely full train heading out just now. And I'm not even sure where you're going. I guess you are going up here. So this still has storage, and we're getting another train coming over. So assuming the actual iron ore supply is good, this should be fine. Okay, those guys are all going to build that. Here comes our new iron plates. And we're good. Alright, I think... Well, either we're good to go here, or hopefully we'll be able to manage whatever crisis happens just with drones. So I am going to take you and... Right, I need to empty out my inventory. So step one, place down a couple of steel chests, turn personal logistics off. And there's got to be a better way to just insert everything than just spam clicking. But here we go. Alright, and steel chest number 3. There we go. Alright, inventory is now cleared. Items in inventory, trash slots, or ammo slots. Got it. So we have to pop all this stuff away as well. Alright. Up to transport platform. And we're launching. Go. Research is still going at a steady pace. Alright. We are up on the platform as of now. And here we are. Alright. So now we're here. We have our platform. That's all happening. Add station Vulcanus. Unloading cargo at the stop. Oh wait. Okay, that's just a bunch of drones. That's fine. I don't really care about losing a bunch of drones. All right. Show electric network. Satisfaction is like in the 200 kilowatt range. Production, we got like 3.6 megawatts. Hopefully that's fine. Hopefully this is enough solar power. I haven't done the math, but like it should be fine, probably. I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's... Okay, now what are we losing? Just more drones. I don't know. I want to... Let's start moving. And we're off. Alright, so the thruster is going. Seems, at least for now, we have enough fuel for it. Okay, here is the distance. It's maybe a reasonably long trip, I guess. And we're just gonna have to hope that we have enough of all this stuff to make it all the way. Alright, I can definitely see what they mean about the asteroid supply going up a lot when you move. So that should be fine then, hopefully. We don't need... I mean, we're getting a lot here. So that's good. I haven't seen the gun turrets go at anything yet. Oh, there's a medium oxide shard, medium metallic shard. Got it. So those are going to be the ones that we're going to have to shoot with gun turrets, I guess. And here it comes. And now it's within range. Alright. That was pretty easy. This one over there. It's a bit... Yeah, okay. We should be fine like this. That's not using that much ammo. We are low power though. Power grid. Power grid is a bit dicey. Definitely. Alright. Now this is why we brought extra supplies with us. Let's put another row of solar panels in. And... Alright. Now we're doing much better. At least a little bit better. And the gun turrets themselves don't require... They don't require power. But they do require ammo. And this is... physically not loading stuff in fast enough. Our ammo supply is dwindling. That's not ideal. Alright, we are more than halfway there, though. But I am a bit worried about our ammo supply. We are absolutely running out. Some of these guys are getting pretty close. Okay, that one's just gonna pass. I wish... probably like figure out how to set it to not shoot at everything off the edge of maybe just like by constricting its range or something. We don't need to shoot at those ones. Okay, so the left side is going to be fine for longest because of how the buffering works. And the right side gets first dibs, so it'll also be mostly okay. So really the center is the scary part. Okay, that was... Yeah, okay, we're doomed. I think we're doomed. Pause thrust. Can we just have you... Can we just have you chill for a little bit? Alright. Alright, so if we can just like stop here and not be moving, and that'll cause the large asteroids to not hit as much, then we should be able to resupply on ammo and then be fine. Fortunately, it's a very good thing I brought spares of basically everything, because we lost a gun turret. At minimum speed to Volcanus. Yep, we are going. Alright, so this is much more chill. We should be able to manage this. We have item ingredient shortage. Alright, that rock just decided to turn around and start heading towards us from the side, which is terrifying. Alright, we got most of the way there, and our ammo supplies are going up again. So I think we're fine. I think we're fine, but for the return trip, we are gonna need we're gonna need more ammo production, or just have some ammo stored up. So if we can have some ammo stored up, then we can just tank it, have reserves, and even if our reserves dwindle, then that's fine. But yeah. Alright. We're fine. We're just about there, actually. We're just about there, and we have... Okay, so the left side has got plenty. This one's down to 3 shots. These ones are all fine. Yeah, I think we should be able to make it back pretty easily without making serious changes. Probably. I'm wishing I brought more crafting stuff, although we should be able to get iron plates while we're here. Alright. 14,600. I assume it's 15,000 kilometers is how far we need to go, just based on the fact that we're almost there and that's almost filled up. Okay. Now, why is there just no asteroids at all here? Just actual zero. It says on the space map what the distance are. There's a space map? How do you see the space map? Yeah, okay. I'm sure top left. Oh, I see. Space map. Got it. Got it, okay. That's fine. What does it say the distances are? No, that's not what I meant to do. Well, we've unlocked weapon shooting speed, so now we can burn through even more ammo. The line to it. Alright, let's research some things that need purple signs now, since we have that. Ah, I see, yes. Length 15,000 kilometers. Alright, so now we are stopped at Vulcanus. And I guess we just have to... disembark. How do I've forgotten how to do this. How do I drop myself off below the minimap? Yes, thank you, thank you. I've done this before. Alright, down we go. Alright. A turret up there ran out of ammunition. How did it run out of ammunition now? That doesn't make any sense. Alright, here we are. New tip, lava processing. Lava can be pumped by offshore pumps and processed into foundries. Processed in foundries into stone, molten iron, and molten copper. It's possible to remove waste items by moving them directly into lava. Neat. Alright, so now we're here. Are there still biters on this? Is that something that I need to worry about? Or That's probably fine, right? Alright, so now we go up to transport platform. Oh, these guys are still shooting. Alright, so there's still medium-sized asteroids up here, apparently. So... Oh wait, that might be a bit of an oversight. I assumed we would be moving, so I only covered the front. It's probably fine. It's probably fine, right? Because these asteroids are going to provide us resources that we can then use to make more ammo, hopefully. Hopefully that's fine. Alright, what was I doing? Right, so what I was trying to do is we need to drop some stuff off. So let's get a stack of solar panels and some furnaces and some assemblers and some belts and some underground belts and some of those. Grab some pipes. I mean, at what point do I just say grab everything, right? Probably. Let's just yoink everything, basically, and then figure out what we need later. Got a cargo landing pad. Whoops. I'm pretty sure I have those. That's one of the things in here, right? Probably one of these guys has it. I should have sent that down first and then set it off. Did I? I might have forgotten, actually. I have cargo bays. I might have forgotten to bring in a cargo landing pad. Oh well, it's fine. We can pick all this stuff up manually. It's not that bad. Alright, so we have all that. Then we have some more stuff. And theoretically, this is just like my ordinary inventory. So I should be able to hold all this stuff. Alright. So let's activate personal logistics just so I can see what I'm missing, if anything. It's obviously not going to be useful over here on another planet. Alright. There we go. We are getting there. Alright, is that everything? I believe that is everything. Yep, that's everything, and then it's just a question of, will this thing be entirely obliterated by asteroids? I don't see that many around here. It's probably okay. It looks like our ammo reserves are still backing up, although if we have to worry about getting hit from other sides than just the front, then we're going to be in trouble. But I'm sure it'll be fine. Alright, so here we are. Let's start with a power grid. Alright, so we've got some solar panels and some accumulators. And then we get these guys powered up. So there we go. Just get the rest of them and then connect that up. So that's a start. Power output plus 300%. You'll love to see it. I did notice that it said solar panels are better here than on the regular planet. Alright, so we have those. Then, what do we even need to be powering here? So I guess our goal needs to be getting the resources and getting back. So we need to mine entity big volcanic rock to get that. Mine entity calcite to get that. And then I guess we can just figure out other stuff from there. Alright, so that is coal up there. That's an ominous red line. So I guess let's go explore what that ominous red line is. And let's bring power up there, just in case it's something we want. Okay, that ominous red line is a small demolisher segment. Interesting. Okay, that's a thing. I see there's like a warning thing over there. I assume that's what that is. Alright, I'm going to say we're just gonna go the other way. We're just gonna turn around and just grab these power poles, because we technically don't have any resource production at the moment, so they're kind of important. That turret platform running out of ammo every so often is gonna be an issue if we can't get enough. And this, yeah, okay, we need to just, oh, I sent all of my laser turrets down with me, so this is just, alright, this is just gonna be what it is until we can launch back up. Okay, so until we can launch back up, that's just sort of stuck there. There's sulfuric acid mines over there. That's fun. Did I bring radars with me at all? No, I did not, and I also didn't bring iron or copper. So that's not great. So we're gonna have to just explore manually. Okay, what's that? That's calcite up there. So let's see what calcite does. Hopefully it gives me useful materials. And I might have to like move my solar panels somewhere if these power poles don't reach long enough. Oh, these are all cliffs? Oh, that's awful. Okay. That's gonna make things a lot more complicated. Long-range poles. I have always just spammed short-range poles. Somewhat regretting that now, but I'm sure it'll be fine. As long as we can find some supply of resources that we can extract to make power poles, it'll be okay. Where's my mining drills? Alright, so we get a mining drill. We power you on. And we've unlocked the calcite thing. What do you do? Steam, water, and heavy oil. Okay, well that's not fantastically useful. Tungsten carbide gets foundry research. Alright, so we need to find that. We need to find tungsten carbide. Calcite, not incredibly useful to me right now. I'm sure it'll be important later. But for now, let's take these power poles down. And actually, we have enough solar panels that, yeah, we're just gonna build our solar panels on site. Alright. This stuff continues to happen on Novice, but probably not incredibly important. As long as that laser turret isn't like weirdly out of drone range or something. Alright, so now we go over here. There's more sulfuric acid and more what I assume to be the danger zone. I hope I don't have to go in here to find anything. Alright. So let's head down this way. think we're technically within the danger zone, but just barely right now. Alright, so here's some lava. And lava was... There's something in this tip about lava, right? Where was that? Lava processing. It can be pumped into stone, molten iron, and molten copper. But I assume I need some research for that. I need to get the foundry, which means I need tungsten carbide. Alright, it's not here. That's not anything. This whole thing appears to be... Oh wait, there's some tungsten ore. They are in this danger zone, which I still don't know exactly what the danger zone means, but I'm just gonna ignore it for now and hope that it turns out okay. And I guess we'll figure out what the danger zone does when it goes catastrophically wrong for me. Alright, where are the electric mining drills? There they are. Oh, cannot mine this resource. Mined by big mining drill. Okay. Well, how does one get a big mining drill, then? Is that... I need... Okay. Oh, I need to just mine entity big volcanic rock. I don't need to actually mine the tungsten in order to get the research unlock. So we do that. That gives me some stuff, and then I can use that stuff. Got it. Alright. So, foundry. We need to craft item tungsten carbide. And that is carbon, tungsten ore, sulfuric acid. Alright. Wait, do I have oil wells on me? I might have not brought fluid extractors with me. That might be a horrible mistake that I've made. Like pump jacks. Alright, well, I guess I can get some raw resources by mining rocks to craft a pump jack. Okay, so I need tungsten carbide, which is carbon, tungsten ore, sulfuric acid. Carbon is coal and sulfuric acid. So we just need to grab some of that coal from up north and some of that sulfuric acid from in there, and then we will be good to go. Alright. Up we go. Let's set up a mine on that coal patch. And we might have to do some manually transporting stuff around. I could have been more prepared for this, but it's fine. Electric mining drill goes there. A couple of solar panels by it. And a couple of capacitors. I brought fewer capacitors than I probably should have, but it's fine. Alright, so that is going to give us... That's going to give us some coal. Let's just get a couple of those. A solar panel was destroyed. That's on the transport platform. Okay, that's bad. That's very bad. Okay, I can swap you out with productivity modules. Okay, but not you, though. Okay, but I brought all of my modules down, so I actually just can't do anything, really. That was stupid of me. Okay, it's fine. Well, hopefully the entire thing doesn't just get destroyed and strand me here. That would be annoying. But that's probably what's going to happen. I should be able to set up another platform back at the starting planet and send it over here if I really need to. Alright. So let's just get the coal into a box for now. And that's just happening back over there. So then the other thing that I need is I need a couple of furnaces to smelt the other resources down. So I can send you into there. Did I get any copper ore? No, I don't think so. Yikes. Alright, apparently I did. And I'm just blind? These definitely give copper. Oh, it's going into trash slots. Right. You get turned off. I do not want that going into trash slots. Not that it makes a difference. Alright, so now we have iron and copper smelting up. And then we're going to have to take some of that iron and make some steel so that we can get a pump jack. That should be everything we need for a pump jack, right? The rest of that stuff I can just manual craft. Okay, so the trees actually give carbon, so I can do that. Just mining some rocks. That was a big rock. Alright, so now we can run back here. Going back to manual stuff. It's like the Stone Age over here. Alright, can I craft a pump jack? No, I need 35 iron plates, 7.5 copper plates, and 5 steel. Alright, so I need more into there. More of you. Copper plates is doing fine. Alright, we unlocked braking force. Huzzah. What else can I do? I can't do anything that requires yellow science. Let's just do mining productivity, I guess. So grab all of that. Grab that. Alright, I can craft a pump jack now. So that'll get the sulfuric acid. And then we combine that with carbon and tungsten ore, and then we get tungsten carbide. Alright, so we have some carbon in our inventory. We can grab some from the trees. Okay, now it's nighttime and all of this is stopped. It should be on in a minute. Because the day-night cycle is pretty short here, right? Yeah, power's back on. Cool. Alright, so now let's run down over here. Alright, so sulfuric acid. We can pop a pump jack on that. We can just drag that power line down. And then we get you. Also, yeah, I saw that it was different. So that's cool. So now we can set that up. And, oh, the pipe has to go to there. Alright, so that is sulfuric acid, tungsten ore, and coal. Alright, foundry technology unlocked. Now, where was that? Big mining drill. We need to craft a foundry. Okay, that sure does give a whole lot of additional recipes, and they're all down there in that section, so that's fine. Foundry. We Oh, we need so much stuff. Okay, that's awful. So we need a lot of steel, some refined concrete. So all these new recipes are going to be in the foundry, so I can't like get decently automated stuff until I have this. So that's not great. Alright, so one thing at a time, I guess. The steel, we can go up here. And yeah, I should have... If I just brought my crafting supplies as well as my building supplies, this would have been fine. So we need to go up here. We need to make so much steel in order to get even one of these things. And it honestly might be at the point where, like, building a new space platform remotely via our drones and stuff back on the main planet, and then sending it over here with supplies will be better. I'd love to send the current space platform back to the starting planet, but I simply do not have faith in this thing to make the journey. Maybe it can? I don't know. It's gotten... The ammo seems to be stockpiling. Like, this is almost entirely filled. So if the ammo is entirely filled, then we can send the space platform back to Novice, reload it. If it gets over half the route, it could float back to Novice. Yeah, it should be able to. I mean, last time when I brought it here, we were able to get like 3/4 of the route pretty easily. And then once we have that, the lubricant is going to be the problem, but there's like technically somewhere in here there's like barreling. We can like send a barrel of lubricant over or something. And that could be fine. So let's see. What's the refined concrete? Yeah, that's just so many resources, including water, which is just not accessible here, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it specifically said. If I go to the tips and Volcanus briefing, without water. Alright, so if I want water at all, the only way I could get it would be to grab ice from the space platform and launch it down here. But I can't do that, really, because I don't have any supplies up there because I brought them all down with me. Alright, yeah, so this was a somewhat poorly planned expedition, and I'm basically stranded here now. Fortunately, we can go over here and get some of that stuff set up. So I need to set up refined concrete crafting. And what else do I need for the foundries? Lubricant should be fine as long as I can figure out barreling, which I've never done. Electronic circuits are going to be fine. Steel plates are going to be fine. Tungsten carbide I have on site. And yeah, so I just need to craft refined concrete and then send it all over. So the refined concrete needs, I looked at this 5 seconds ago and forgot, it needs water and then 3 random inputs, which I should be able to just bring in with drone coverage. Alright, so this can go there and make refined concrete. So you get attached to that via the pipe. Then you get a requester chest with an inserter. And you need steel plates, regular concrete, and iron sticks. You might have to put iron sticks in the system. So you get concrete, you get steel plates, and you get iron sticks. And yeah, so we need a power pole there. And connect it up. Where am I? Why does this have small electrical poles? What part of the factory is this? I don't remember ever using those this far over. Alright, regardless, we need to just find our sticks and ask provider chest to you. We only need like a couple stacks. And that should be good. And then you just output to somewhere. And I think you're going to need a power pole. And that's 0.83 per second, which is pretty fast. And I'm not going to be able to productivity module them. So I guess you can get speed moduled. Might as well, although I don't think the drones will be able to keep up with that. Alright, so this is now running, making refined concrete. So that is that. Next step is lubricant. Do we have... There's like a specific... Is packaging like a thing that I haven't unlocked? I mean, I need to like do some random... Oh no, here it is. Fill lubricant barrel. So it's just in an assembly machine. And I need a barrel, which is just steel plates. Okay, steel plates. We've got plenty of those. So we can just do this. And you can make barrels. And you get powered up. And we only need a couple stacks of barrels. So we can set that. Alright, so now we have barrel production. Now we go down over here to our lubricant belt, which is not somewhat annoyingly placed. So let's grab a little extra branch off of that. And then you are going to be filling lubricant barrels and outputting to a passive provider chest, which I guess we'll have a couple of those. And then you all get powered up, and you get a requester chest, which will be calling in the barrels. Alright, I don't know if that's all within the power range, so let's set it up so that it is. Alright, so that is good to go. Then up here we already have 20 barrels. Alright, these guys do not stack much at all. So that's fine, I guess. So I think actually, because of how little these stack and how I kind of want a decent chunk of lubricant, let's go up to like 5 stacks there. Should still be plenty. Our refined concrete over here is going. We have like 200 of that. And we only need like 20 to make one foundry. So that should be alright. Alright, so now we have everything crafting to make foundries. Alright. So now the question becomes, will this space platform make the journey? so you can add novice. And okay, yeah, that's coming in at a slightly annoying angle. Well, let's move forward and see if we can dodge it. Alright. We successfully dodged the asteroid. Alright, so in terms of damage, we're down 1 solar panel. And a little bit of chip damage on the ammunition production machine, which would be absolutely catastrophic if that were destroyed. So I think I might want to put some buffer between that and the outside of the ship. When I have the ability to redesign this slightly, just like put some walls or something over there. All right, now we just hope that we can make it. All right, so this is heading back, and it's destroying some stuff. Alright. Ammo supply is dwindling, but not hugely quickly. If I had just set this up to output onto both sides of the belt, we could have had twice as much reserves, and that would be pretty nice. Alright. So this is terrifying. That's a lot of asteroids. And what we need to get to, like... You said halfway, and then we can drift the rest of the way. So theoretically, if we get to like 75, like 7.5k, we should be fine. Right, we are going. We still... Alright, the ammo on the belts is rapidly depleting. Yeah, the 10 meters per second minimum speed, yeah. Hopefully. Alright, we should be able to get there. We should be able to get that far pretty comfortably, at least. So that shouldn't be much of a problem. So going, what was that? That was, oh joy. Okay. Well, pause thrust. This is fine. Everything is fine. We've lost 2 of our turrets and our ammunition production. So we are just basically just dead in the water at this point. I mean, we cannot defend ourselves from the asteroids anymore. So they're just going to tear through everything. I guess our left side is well protected, which is something, I guess. It's better than nothing being well protected. We've got some spare ammo over here. Yeah, this is pretty bad. Although it looks like we're slow now, so it should be fine. Yeah, losing the ammunition production and like all of the important guns is pretty bad. So the right side of the ship is going to be torn to shreds. The left side of the ship is going to be chilling because of these guys. So that's a bit awkward. Should be able to repair it and do some pretty significant refits, I think, once this gets back. Yeah, taking everything down with me. If I had just left some gun turrets and assemblers up here, then it would have just replaced these when they got destroyed, and we would still be at least sort of okay. But with literally nothing to repair itself with, we're in quite a lot of trouble. that's just cruising at this point. At this point, we're fine, I think. Do not see any asteroids. Alright, so down on Volcanus, where I am, we are basically stuck until we get the foundries. I mean, technically, I could get huge quantities of resources by mining individual rocks, but I don't really want to do that. So I guess we're just going to figure out what we can do over here. Okay, this is... Actually, we can make use of a large quantity of refined concrete, and it's fine, because we can use that to just make the ground be faster to walk on. Alright, what else is going on? Is this... Science is still running, and still doing fine, actually. What are we short on right now? We are short on, it looks like, green science. Okay, is this power is doing fine? Okay, that was up on the transport platform again. So yeah, some random inserter got wiped out apparently. Unfortunate. So that is just gonna be cruising, I guess, for a while. Alright, so green science is... It's got plenty of inputs, we just need to make it go fast. So let's get those upgrades in. Should be pretty easy. Okay, that was a drone getting killed up here. Alright, let's try... In the other places where I've done this, these little sort of just like... How did I do this actually down here? It was one gap space there, and then sort of a knight's move on the diagonals. Alright, so... We just need to do something like this. How far out does the laser range go? Pretty far out compared to how far the biters have to get. So if we set up something like this, and they've been attacking this corner from absolutely all angles, apparently. Alright, so we do something like that, and then down here we get another row in. This basically will just mess with their pathing and cause them to... Okay, not that far up. Because if they're too close together, then they'll just decide to break through them, and that at that point they don't do me any good. But when they're like this, the biters will know that they can path through them without destroying them, so they will attempt to do so and waste a bunch of time, which is pretty neat. Let's get another row out here, just so that I have it. The corner is a bit funky because the pattern doesn't quite work that well. These have to be far enough out that they actually stop the ranged biters before they get into their range. Like this one needs... We need more up here, I think. Alright. We'll see how much that does. It probably won't help a huge amount, but it should be mildly beneficial. And I mean, the worst case scenario is that a bunch of drones come out here to try to repair these while there are biters standing right there, and I lose a bunch of drones, but that's probably fine. Alright, so science has gone up with our increases to the green science production. That's cool. Actually, how is everything going? We've got plenty of those. We have, for the first time in ages, a good stockpile of productivity modules, and a smaller but maxed out stockpile of speed modules. And let's see here. Is there anything around here that looks like it's going poorly? No, everything actually looks like it's going pretty well around here. So we have our barreled lubricant. So that's cool. We have all this refined concrete. Is that the highest tier concrete right now, at least? Yes, it is. So it's neat that we have it. Let's see, this copper thing is still not doing much, but technically existing. We are making grenades very slowly and then looping them around in the most convoluted path possible for military science. I wonder if military science is going to be an issue. It looks like it's fine. Yeah, so the grenade supply might actually be too low, but we can fix that pretty easily just by making that a faster assembler. So let's do that. How's the transport platform? It's almost here, and it hasn't taken that much more damage. So that's good. So we are going to have to repair all that damage, and then how do we get more ammo reserves? And can we we can probably run walls or something in front of the guns. I don't think we can run them in front of the asteroid collectors because they have to be on the outside, maybe? Alright, over here. It looks like aside from those giant worms of death, there aren't biters or anything on the Volcanus, so that's nice. So that is going fine. Science is going okay. Okay, purple science. We're now low on purple science. What are you? Oh, it's this. Okay. So there were apparently still some iron plates on that belt. I can fix this if I just do that. Then the iron plates should get moved along over to there, and they'll stop being an issue. And then let's just scan to see. Looks like that was just excess left over, and that's probably mostly the only part. Alright, so some drone can come around and pop that in. And there we go. So we're gonna have to show up at some point and remove that iron, but for now this is going. And you can be tier 3. Actually, while we're at it, let's just make all these guys that are just sitting around here not being tier 3. Let's just upgrade all of them. Not like I got much better to do at this exact moment. I've got plenty of tier 3 assemblers, so that's not an issue. Now most of this will not be relevant, but some of it could be relevant under certain circumstances. Let's get the landfill upgraded. Let's see here. Underground pipes, sure. Alright, then we can get those. Okay, I just heard a rocket launch, which means that, yeah, the transport platform is back, and it's going to receive its repairs. Alright, all these random guys get to be extra fast. And that might cause additional drain from these, but it'll probably be okay. Alright, so, transport platform. You don't need that whole thing anymore. You need a more specific setup. So we need refined concrete, probably a good couple hundred, and we need lubricant barrels. Let's grab like 4 stacks of that. And what else do we need? We need green circuits. Let's grab a couple stacks of you. And steel plates. Grab a couple stacks of you. This is going to take ages to launch properly, but it'll be worth it. And let's grab a couple stacks of iron and copper plates as well, which shouldn't be super necessary, but will be nice to have. What else? What else was there? So we're making the foundry. Oh, you can't see that in this view. Theoretically, once we have foundries, we should be able to do most things, I think. I don't know. And also, like, once this is secure enough that we can actually send it back and forth without worrying about it, we should be able to make follow-up trips a lot easier. Alright, and speaking of which, step 1 is, I think we can just pop some walls in front of all these. And we can't have them in front of the asteroid collectors, but just covering all these guys and you. Okay. So, the other thing we need in order for this to work at all is we need some coverage over here. So let's get, I guess, a belt going like that. And then you go down this way and in there, and then we're going to need to cover in that donut section. And then you get a gun turret, which probably won't be used all that much, but it's fine. It'll probably mostly just be wasting ammo, honestly. Alright, then if we just put a cargo bay like here, then you would just output into that cargo bay, and the cargo bay would then output onto that. Alright, so that should allow us to stockpile ammo much better, which should solve most of our problems. Alright, we are... Oh, I think we only have one of our 2 rocket launch pads currently active. Yeah, this one, we need to queue you up. Alright, let's see. So we just need all this stuff to launch at this point, and it is about time when I usually wrap up. So I think we're going to wrap up the stream here. We are preparing our resupply mission, and that should go pretty well. So once we have this all powered up, then we can just send those resources over to Vulcanus and get our production. Where's the amorphous platform shape? It is simply a result of me just building stuff where I need to build it and just putting in the foundations like as minimally as possible. I actually think I probably need... Those are going to be donuts. And that might count as a donut. But yeah, it's definitely a bit scuffed. I'm sure it'll be fine. So yeah, I think we're going to wrap up here. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I will be doing Satisfactory tomorrow, and then we'll be back to Factorio on Wednesday. So I stream every weekday from 2 to 5 Eastern Time. And yeah, so that's going to be about it. I will make sure to follow if you haven't already. I can't remember if I said that already. And yeah, so we're going to wrap up now. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Had a lot of fun, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.